Welcome to the Free to Soar podcast. My mission is to inspire, empower, and equip heart-centered, mission-driven, kingdom-minded business owners to show up freely and fully as the brilliant, powerful change makers that you are, so that you can lead the business and the life of your dreams. You'll enjoy vulnerable, authentic conversations with me and other heart-centered, mission-driven leaders that will spark your heart and ignite your passion to powerfully transform you, your business, and your life from the inside out. Your next level of impact and income is about unleashing the fullness of you, reprogramming your limiting beliefs and patterns, tapping into and trusting your inner wisdom, and harnessing God's power within you so that you can unlock new possibilities in your business and your life. And this show brings it to you. Step with me into a God-powered reality wilder than your wildest dreams, with freedom, impact, abundance, and enjoyment that you were created for. Let's go. Hello. And I welcome you back to the Free to Soar podcast. I'm excited today to share with you 4 questions that I love asking my clients because it exposes so much inside of us when we ask ourselves questions. A powerful question is something that really can get us a major breakthrough. If we will be curious with ourselves and we will get vulnerable and honest with ourselves and really search deep within and want to know the answer, then we can get some pretty big breakthroughs with some powerful questions. So hopefully these questions will challenge you. They'll provide you with some clarity, and they will also maybe even lead to some breakthrough. So I'm going to dive in, and we're going to go through these. These are 4 questions that I ask business owner clients and they can be applicable to other people too, into your life and other areas of your life, but in other areas of personal development. But mainly, I use them to really help business owners reflect and look within and look into the way that they're leading their business, and to see what needs to change and where do we need to make shifts so that we can. The whole purpose being that we make our business run and work for us, that it becomes a freedom-giving, profitable, thriving, sustainable revenue machine that impacts lives, that makes the world a better place, and that makes your life better. Because isn't that why we went into business in the first place? And if we're stuck in our business and we're in the daily urgency, putting out fires, and business isn't working for us, and we're frustrated and stuck and stagnant and misaligned, then we're going to feel the effects of that. There's going to be, health and it's going to affect your health. It's going to affect your relationships. It affects every area of your life, and your well-being. So, the first question, let's just dive in. First question I ask my clients are now these are not in order of these are not this one's first, and these are just 4 questions that I ask, and I just put them in this order for today's podcast. But these are, I don't ask these all at once either. I ask them along the way, but I wanted to share these 4 with you because they are powerful. So here we go. So the first one I ask is, in what ways are you in misalignment in your business, in your life? So I want you to just think about that. And you may even, if you're in a place to do this, or maybe you've listened now and then you come back through later on and you re-listen, and when you get a chance to center yourself, you can close your eyes, or you can just soften your gaze. Keep your eyes open. Bring your body into presence, into the present moment. Pull all the scattered pieces of you back in. Soften your jaw. Embrace your belly. Deepen your breathing. And relax into the support along the back of your body, whatever's supporting you. So, really feel into these. Don't try to analyze them with your mind. Go deep. So, in what ways are you in misalignment in your business, in your life? Is the way that you're leading your business, is your business aligned with your true purpose? And do you feel aligned with the services that you're offering, the way you're working with people, how you're spending your time and your energy, how you're spending your resources, how you're working every day, your pace of your day? And the reason I ask this is alignment is so important. There was a time years ago where I was seeing people one after the other, one on one. I was just, the way that I was working was not good for my body. I didn't feel good. I was tired every day. I left the day, I was exhausted. And then I had all this work to do. Work was always waiting on me. I wasn't doing the work the way that I wanted to do it. I wasn't working with who I really wanted to be working with, the way that I wanted to be working with them. My pricing, my offerings were not the way that I want them. My business was not set up in a structure the way that I needed it and wanted it, that it worked for me. It was not, it was thriving in some ways. It was, but it was limited in its capacity to grow. I was stuck at a certain level. I couldn't move beyond that. My capacity was maxed, and the only way that I could make more money or have more impact was do more of the same thing that I was doing that already wasn't working, and it would require more of me. And there was not any more of me. I didn't even have enough me for my own things. I didn't have enough me to be living my life. And so it wasn't working. It just wasn't working for anybody. And so I want you to think about, like, what would you, if you could do more get tos and want tos and more things that light you up and more things that are truly aligned with your values, what would it look like? How would your day be different? And sometimes the problem is we don't even know. So we just keep doing what we've been doing and stay in the stuck because at least that's predictable and at least that feels productive when it's actually not. But we tell ourselves that it is. So we keep doing it. And I want you to, I really want to challenge you and challenge yourself that you don't just put up with it anymore because you don't know what else to do. Now's the time to reach out for help if you want something to change and you don't know how to change it. Or maybe you don't even know what you want to change because you're in the fire and you don't have any capacity or any space to even think about it or to know what you want because you've lost yourself in it all. And so be a disruptor. Be a disruptor in your own business. Disrupt things a little bit and bring things back to alignment. What would energize you and light you up if you could do a little bit more of it? Maybe even ask yourself the questions, what do I want to do less of? What do I want more of? What do I want to let go of that would make me happier, or have more enjoyment in the day, more freedom? What would energize me more? Does your business align with your values? I asked that a couple minutes ago. Are you taking time for you? Actually, do you even know what your values are? That's one of the first things that I do with business owners is help them define and clarify what are their top 5 to 7 values. And I'm not talking about God, business, or God, family, business. I'm talking about what really, like, is it the spiritual life? Is it spiritual health? Is it your own health and wellness? Is it freedom? Is it is it love and connection? Is it adventure? Is it legacy? Like, really get clear with yourself about what's most important to you and what's important to you, and make sure that your business is structured so that it aligns with those values. Are you taking time for you? Are you covering your costs in your business? Are you living a life you enjoy and that allows you to care for you and allows you to have financial stability? Or are you resentful because bills are stacking up and you're not pricing your services to have a profitable business and you don't even know it? And maybe you're working too much, giving too much, caretaking too much, people pleasing too much. Is your business running you in some ways? Does it allow you freedom and joy? What really matters? Do you know? It's time to find out. It's time to discover that. And that's where I can help. Structure and strategy of your business. Is it the way that your business is structured, the way that it's the services that you offer and how you offer them and how you work with people and how you're strategically creating what you want to be creating and building out your business? Is it aligned in a way that lights you up? Do you see it getting results? Do you see it moving in the direction you want it? Or do you feel stuck in that way and frustrated? Or maybe what you're doing is not sustainable or it's not enjoyable every day. Well, we need to change that, because why are you doing that? Who is that serving? And I can tell you it's not serving anyone, and definitely not you. And we don't have to be martyrs in our businesses. That's not what we're called to. So if you've been receiving information from your own intuition or your own, or maybe from your own spirit, from God in you, and you've been ignoring that or dismissing that. And you just know, like, something keeps saying, "Oh, something needs to change. I'm not happy. This feels like drudgery. This is not lighting me up anymore. I'm feeling drained by this." And you just keep putting that off because you got to just keep going another day. Things have to get done. But or you need to make changes regarding your services, your pricing, or the way you're working, or who you're working with, or the way your business is structured, or getting more support. And you just don't know what or how or where to even start. And you feel like you can't stop it all because you're on the hamster wheel. Time to ask for help. That's where I was. And that's where I can help you. Second question: where are you hiding? Where are you hiding from yourself? Or do you not want to know that that you're running from? What are you afraid to face? What are you afraid to take a look at? Or maybe, where are you hiding and not wanting to be seen? Where are you hiding? Are you hiding behind the daily fire and the urgency because it feels safe for you? Or you're hiding behind the same old, and because it feels stable and secure, and you're scared to step out, but you know you need to or want to? Are you scared to take a step that you know you need to take, and you're just avoiding it, and you're distracting yourself, and you're caught up in some chaos, and that's causing you to be able to avoid it, what you really need to be dealing with? Our shadow self is the number one block to our our own personal growth not happening, our own stagnancy in our growth, and our business not growing. Whatever you have not owned is still owning you. Whatever you are running from is not helping you. It is, it's actually, it's haunting you. So how are you hiding? How are you hiding? Because it doesn't feel safe to be seen. Maybe you're hiding from the truth about something. Maybe you're, like I said, running and not dealing with something inside of yourself, and you're avoiding and distracting, or you're gratifying in some way, the daily gratification, and, you know, um, watching TV at night till you fall asleep, having that extra glass of alcohol, um, not staying numb in your own body because you don't want to deal with something. Maybe you're sabotaging in some way. You're doing something, but you're undoing all the doing because of something you believe deep inside about you, or you don't feel worthy of it in some way. So you sabotage it and you don't even realize it. Because deep down, that thing that you say you want maybe is too risky or too scary, or it requires you to step out and play big, or it requires you to be you in some way. And that doesn't feel safe. Or maybe you set yourself up to be seen. And if you set yourself up to be seen, you feel exposed, and that doesn't feel safe. And maybe you've had some trauma around that in some area in your life. Maybe you feel afraid of being judged, criticized. That feels unsafe. So you're going to hold yourself back. And there's this tool it's called the fear inventory that I do with my clients. And it helps you get at, what are those unconscious fears? What is it that you say you want that you're actually keeping yourself from? And you don't realize it. You're keeping yourself from unconsciously because it doesn't feel safe for you to have it, or you're afraid of having it in some way, or you don't feel worthy of it in some way. And so if that's where you are and you think there may be something there, let's talk. That fear inventory helps you get at, what are those unconscious fears and why it's so scary to have it, and what's really going on, and why are you self-sabotaging, and why does that feel safer than actually getting where you want to be? We've got to We've got to have those lies that you're believing or the patterns that you're in lose the power and repattern and reprogram them. And so, how might you be showing up in some way in your business or your life, but you're not showing up authentically? Not really. You're maybe tolerating something that you're not really okay with. You're not setting boundaries. You're people pleasing. You're caretaking. You're taking on more responsibility than your clients or your employees. So you're hiding in that. That's hiding too. Or maybe you're literally hiding in your business and you're not working on your business. You're not showing up. You're not marketing. You're not networking. You're not connecting. There's no time for marketing and sales, you say. You're putting that last. And deep down, you don't feel worthy of the business. You don't feel like you're making an impact. Maybe you're not really worth, or you don't feel like you're worth what you're asking for in your prices. You're afraid you'll fail. You're afraid you'll be exposed for the imposter that you are. All of those things keep us hiding. So where are you hiding? And how's that hurting you? How's it keeping you safe? But what's it stopping you from? Number 3, where are you blocked? Our unconscious beliefs, our patterns, and our programs are all survival based. We learn, we are programmed from 0 to 7 years old, and that's reinforced up to 14 years old and then all throughout our lives. And so we're programmed, our subconscious mind is programmed from 0 to 7 years old, and our subconscious programming is running us. My subconscious programming is running me at 50 years old, 51 years old. I don't even know how old I am. It's too hard to keep up with. Running 95% of your life. I want you to hear that. 95% of your life is run by your subconscious mind. So think about it like this. Your 0 to 7 year old self, and whatever your 0 to 7 year old self learned about the world, about yourself, about what's available to you, about your worthiness, is still running you 95%. It's creating 95% of your reality right now, and you don't even realize it. And so you're living in every moment. You are living from your survival based self. You're doing things and thinking things that allowed you to survive and succeed up to a certain point in your life and in your business. But at this point, they're not allowing you to go any further. They're not allowing you to thrive at the next level, the next evolved level of you. So you're either living in every moment from that survival self or from your expanded, evolved self every second of every day. Your survival self is programmed by your subconscious mind. You do it naturally. It's a well-worn path. You've done it over and over and over. It's habituated. It's easy to do. It feels safe and secure. Our survival self is just trying to keep us alive. It's trying to keep us from the threats that we perceive. Problem is, it gets overactive and runs our life 95% of the time. And most of the threats are not real. And then we're reacting to things that are not real. And so we stay stuck in our own reality that's limited, and it's not working for us. We can't move beyond that because we're stuck in that subconscious program. Yes, it's keeping us safe, but it's not allowing us to move forward. So do you have maybe beliefs that you learned a long time ago that are running your programming, that were things like, I can't do this, or I can't have that, or that won't happen for me, or I can't, or I won't have this, or I have to do this or else? Think about your beliefs. What survival based beliefs do you have that are running you at this point? Think about the patterns of behavior that were handed to you, modeled for you. You adapted them, you habituated them, and now they're hard to break. Caretaking, people pleasing, avoiding conflict, avoiding yourself, boundaries being lax, um, questioning your worthiness, um, distracting yourself, gratifying yourself in some way to make yourself feel good. What are your patterns? Procrastinating, running from fear. We learn these patterns because we learned to survive and succeed. We had to. Maybe you learned to do it all, not trust anyone. Maybe you learned to abandon yourself. And that was the way you got what you needed and wanted. But I had a conversation with one of my clients this week that was her lie. I have to abandon myself and what I need and want in order to get what I need and want from others. But how much sense does that really make? She's been living that all of her life. And I did too, for many, many, many years. I couldn't have what I wanted. I had to, in order to get my basic needs met, in order to have money, have basic needs, have approval from others, I had to abandon who I really was and abandon me and what I needed and what I wanted in each moment in order to at least get what I thought I had to have. And where'd that end up? Where'd that end up? Where's that ending up for you? Maybe you feel like you have to work harder and longer than everyone else. We had to make sure maybe that, most of us feel like we have to make sure we control our outcomes in life. That's one of those patterns. We have to be around God, self-sufficiency, self-protection. All of those are patterns that we latch onto and they work really well for us. We get a payoff from them. But at some point, they start killing us when we want to go to the next level. And then you get exhausted and frustrated and stuck, and you're wondering, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. Your patterns are outdated. Your mindsets are outdated. We have to learn how to repattern and reprogram. And that's one of the things that I do with my clients at a very deep level. We recognize and we repattern these things. We heal trauma so that we learn new effective ways to care for ourselves, to set boundaries, to feel empowered, to make empowered choices and decisions in our lives, in our businesses. And our beliefs and our decisions lead us to our goals then, instead of staying stuck in the same old patterns and wondering why nothing's going to ever change. Do you relate? How are these questions hitting you? We're through number 3, and I hope it's already like really getting somewhere with you. I like to get down to the bottom, to the core of things and really figure out what's really keeping you stuck, and let's make some changes. One of my pet peeves about business coaches is that business coaches, for the most part, don't ask these questions. They tell you, this is what you should be doing. This is what your numbers should look like. You've got strategies and formulas for how you should run your business. This is the way it's got to look. But they don't ever delve into these things. And these are the things that are really keeping us stuck. Yeah, is it important to have a aligned strategy? Is it important to have a great strategy? Is it important to know your financials? Is it important to know where you're missing revenue, or you're in some way that you're not stewarding your money well? Is it important to know how to lead? Absolutely. Is it important to know how to develop your team? 100%. I do all of that with my clients. But this inner work is the game changer. So finally, number 4, where are you bottlenecking your business? Just did a video on this this month, and bottlenecking our business is one of the things that keeps our business stagnant more than anything. And the biggest bottleneck that hinders a business's growth is when the business owner tries to do it all. So learning how to effectively lead and delegate tasks is one of the most common challenges that I help business owners conquer. And it is one of the most common challenges that business owners have. We are doers. We are getter-dones. We have always had to be in survival and make sure it happened. Most of us are, we like to be in control, like to control our outcomes. We work harder. We work longer. I could talk for hours about the importance and the struggles that business owners have in letting go and delegating and making the shift in the role in their business to go to the next level. But I'm going to be brief and I'm going to be to the point here. And it is essential for you as an organizational leader to understand that expanding your capacity, your own capacity in your business, will expand the business's capacity for growth. This was one of the things that I didn't realize for so long. I was like, why isn't my business growing? Why can I only serve this many clients? Why are we stuck at this level of revenue? Well, it's because technically, number one, we didn't have the systems and the structure in my business to support any more growth. If we had grown, I couldn't have done it, couldn't have handled it. And my capacity was maxed and I didn't have any more to give. And so I had to learn a new structure. I had to learn a new way. I had to restructure things and put systems in place and have support to be able to max or to expand my capacity so we could expand the business's capacity for receiving more. And that requires a couple things of you. It requires that you have clarity of vision for the business that you're creating. We got to know what we're creating first. We got to have a clear vision. Then it requires that we have an aligned strategic plan to create that business with focused intention and effectiveness. It also requires that we learn how to shift our role from the do it all, from the getter done, from the confident expert, from the jack of all trades to becoming the visionary CEO of the business so that we can work on the business like the eagle flying over the business rather than the goat eating grass in the business, eating the same old grass every day. We got to work on the business and grow the business rather than intentionally with focus and rather than spending our time and energy solving daily problems and reacting to the daily fires in our business. And being the CEO also, the visionary CEO, also means that your role needs to shift from being more of that confident expert, from that practitioner, from that technician to more of the teacher, more of the developer of your people, more of the big picture person, which you got to get out of the weeds. You got to get out of the details. You got to elevate your leadership ability and learn to effectively manage and motivate people. How do you manage and motivate people so that they can do the things? How do you delegate to people? How do you set clear expectations and find the right people and set roles and responsibilities and know your role with clarity and then develop your team while still providing excellent client service at the same time? That's one of the things business owners struggle with the most is they want to keep providing the same level of client service themselves and don't want to take time to develop their team. And they just expect their team to come in and join them in that without development and teaching. And it just doesn't work that way. There's got to be a shift. We've got to learn something new. And that requires us to feel uncomfortable in that and to learn new things. So it is important to develop your team while providing that excellent client service and to build out the structure, the strategy, and the systems of the business so that it can work for you instead of you working for it. Are you working for your business instead of it working for you? What would it look like if it were different? Being the CEO, that visionary CEO, also requires you to identify what tasks are really essential for you to do. Which ones are in your zone of genius that are only the 5% that only you can do that are going to move that needle forward and that no one else needs to be doing but you because they are your zone of genius or they are the tasks that will move the needle forward and you have to do them versus the tasks that can be delegated to someone else that are 95% of what else goes on that you don't need to be doing that are actually draining your time and your energy and your resources, and they're actually costing your business money for you to continue to do those tasks. Do you know what those are? Do you know what your specific zone of genius is and what is that 5% that you need to be doing in your business that only you can do that needs all of your attention and your time? Do you know what your business needs you to be making per hour for it to be profitable? Not that you're working on an hourly rate or dollars per hours. That's not what I'm saying. But do you know what do you need to be being paid versus what you are doing that someone else could be doing at a whole lot lower rate of pay that's actually costing your business for you to be doing it? Do you know what tasks are costing your business money and growth for you to keep doing them? Do you know what needs to be let go? Do you know how to delegate them? Are you confident in leading and developing your team and managing and motivating people? Do you have an aligned, effective, a strategic plan and growth structure and know what your systems in your business need to be to equip it to thrive the way that it needs to be? So it's sustainable and profitable and freedom giving for you. Are you effectively delegating tasks to your team and expanding your business's capacity for growth and success? These aspects of effective leadership are crucial for you to learn. You've got to learn them. We've all got to learn them. I've had to learn them, and then we need to master them in order for our business to grow and thrive and for us to enjoy freedom, impact, and success at a whole nother level. Because isn't that why we got into business? But this is one of the greatest challenges and one of the greatest constraints that business owners face. This is what I'm talking about right now. One of the biggest challenges. And if any one of the questions that I just asked you in this section of questions, those smaller questions in this bigger section of questions, or the bigger number 4 question, if any one of those questions I just asked you bring up fear, uncertainty, frustration, or even defensiveness inside, pay attention to that. That's your sign. It's your sign that it's time to learn something new, to create some shifts, and to elevate your leadership. And leading a business is one of the greatest personal development journeys you'll ever experience. It is probably the most rewarding one. No one starts a business having it all together or knowing how to do it. We're not supposed to. Most of us go into business with a lot of passion, a great work ethic, working a lot of hours, a lot of hope, and you soon discover that I'm at the end of myself. I cannot do this on my own. I cannot do it all. And here's the truth is that you weren't meant to. And that's exactly why you're building something bigger than you. And that's what's so beautiful about it. You're not failing if you're in this place. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing. Your business just is beyond you at this point. And you've got to learn new things, expand your skills, evolve into the next level of leadership, elicit support, wise guidance, grow and develop your leadership skills. Nobody knows how to do this. Not many. Maybe one person out of 100 knows how to do this. Maybe because they had training or their family, they watched their family do it, or, they just for some reason, but most of us don't know how to do this. I had to learn it too. And that's why I'm here to guide you in it through it all, because I've been there and I've walked it out with many other business owners who wanted more in their business and knew that they were capable of it, but were bottlenecking their own business and didn't know how to get out. Don't stay in the frustration. Don't keep trying to push through it all on your own. If you are ready to elevate your leadership and master your inner world and build the business that you love with the freedom, the impact, and the enjoyment that you yearn for, let's talk. You do not have to stay in the frustration. Don't keep settling. Don't keep surviving and struggling in the same way. You were made to thrive. That thing in you that God put in you, that passion in your heart, the purpose He put in you, the gifts, you have everything within you and around you to allow you to bring that forth into the world. And that's why you're here. But maybe you need some support in that. You need someone to guide you along the way. And maybe it's just listening to the podcast, and maybe that's enough. Maybe there's some things that, books you can read, those kinds of things. But if you're stuck, or if you feel like there's something inside that just knows, I need to do some work on me. And I also need to shift some things in my business. Reach out. If not me, reach out to someone. Don't stay where you are. You gotta get out of your own way so you can build something, the thing that's bigger than you in your heart. And the world needs it. And you've got it. So the world gets cheated if it doesn't come out. And we're also made to enjoy our days. So give yourself permission to find enjoyment. Create that freedom, create that ease, feel that ease. And do what you love and love what you do. I'll see you next time for another episode. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me today on the Free to Soar podcast, where we empower and equip you to lead the business and the life of your dreams with freedom, impact, enjoyment, and abundance. I look forward to our next episode together, and I invite you to subscribe to be notified of new episodes as they are released. Please share this or your favorite episode with a friend or a loved one, and I'd love it if you'd leave a review on iTunes and Spotify.